Well, hey everybody, it's Paul. Welcome to the channel. You know, I was driving today and somebody called me on the phone and it got me thinking just how we have changed, at least from when I was little, like 100 years ago, when they first came out with the telephone, how things have changed from way back in the day. And let me explain. I think it's because we're accessible so much. 24/7, right? If somebody's got your phone number, they can blow in a call whenever they want, you know, and we always have our phones with us, you know, so. But now, because of that, I think we're choosier as to when we answer. Do you guys remember, like, back in the day, there was a thing called, like, a party line? I know we were on the party line, and it was so weird. It would, like, when you wanted to call out, sometimes you'd pick up the handset, you know, because it was corded, right? And you'd hear people talking. So there were people on your party line already had the line, so you had to wait. So you would kind of hang it up, then come back in a few minutes, pick it up, and listen. They're probably still yapping, so now you kind of hang it up a little bit louder, you know, and it would go on this cat mouse game, you know, till at the end, you know, you start like really slamming it, so they know, you know, you want to use the line too. But when the phone rang back in the day, it was like a big deal. I remember it's like you were making a mad dash to get to the phone, because when somebody called you, then it was kind of important. You wanted to get to that call, you know. And there was like no answering machines back then, so you wanted to get that message because it was probably important. I don't remember people like really ever trying to sell stuff over the phone back then, so maybe that was before telemarketing. But it was like a mad dash to get to that phone call and see who's calling and what they needed, you know. But nowadays it's like I don't even answer my phone unless like I really know who's calling and I know it's important. It's like there's no way I'm going to answer when I'm driving. And it's like, you know, usually it's better to just let it go to voicemail, let them say their piece, right? Then you can pick it up when you have a moment and address whatever's left in the voicemail, you know? It's like we don't even need a phone to where you can answer it anymore, right? When you call somebody, do you really expect them to answer? About 50% of the time, maybe. It usually just goes to voicemail. And that's fine. I'd rather deal with that. Like, I don't see the whole thing with texting, but it has its place, right? It's like I've kind of come around to not embracing it because, you know, like if you can get the person on the phone, if you need something done, it's like you can talk it out so much quicker to me than you can type it out. But it's like trying to get somebody on the phone, it's near impossible. So now when I call, I'm assuming I'm probably going to be talking to the voicemail. But it's just funny, you know, looking back on just how so many things have changed. I mean, I remember it was like everybody back in the day had like a black phone with a black cord and a black handset, and it had, you know, the numbers on the dial, and it had holes, and you would put your finger in the hole, and so if you wanted 3, you'd find the hole where 3 is and crank the dial, and it go back, you know, and then a 6, you know, or whatever. And I remember I was probably 10, 12, I don't know, 13, and I finally talked to folks into getting an extension, you know, because then you couldn't even like buy the phone. You had to rent the phone or something from the phone company. It was back before you were buying them. Anyway, it was one of those sleek ones, you know. It was still corded and all, but it had it didn't have the dial where you it had the touch tones. Oh man, that was like the cat's meow, right? That was so cool, so quick, and you could get through, and it was stylish, and I was happening, you know. I had like baby blue. I thought that was sweet. Oh my gosh, how times have changed, right? So anyways, is there anybody out there from the old days? You remember the old phones? Do you remember what your Do you remember what your first phone was like? So let me know. Do you answer your phone? I mean, obviously, if you know the person, if your kid's calling you or your spouse is calling or whatever, you probably answer it or don't. But, you know, if it's just some random number, there's no way I'm answering it. Chances are, because I don't have people calling me, so chances are it's somebody trying to sell something or it's a wrong number. And, I've gotten that before. Have you guys gotten it where people argue with you, you know? They're like, is this James? I'm like, no, you know. That is you, you know. It's like, no, it's not. It's craziness how people are. That's why I try not to answer it. There's nothing good. It's like going to be, it's just like when you go out to your mailbox, you know it ain't going to be a check in the mail. It may be a bill, but chances are it ain't going to be like a big check, winnings from the lottery or some good news. So it's craziness.